Hello, so we are going to do another sentence strip lesson today. These lessons are really important to practice sentence structure. By having the words already typed out, it allows the student to not have to worry about the creativity of writing a sentence, but just forming sentences from words that already exist. So it allows us to just target the idea of creating a functional sentence. So first we're going to read the directions. Sentence strip writing lesson. Parents, you should have this in your inbox emailed to you this week. Your copy will say sentence strip writing lesson 2. Directions. Today we are going to work on sentence structure. Use scissors to cut out the words below. On the second piece of paper, we are going to paste the words into full sentences. Now, before I started this video, I already did the cutting. It's really important to remember to allow our students as long as they need to cut. For some students, it's really important that they get all of these little lines here that might be really bothersome to a student, and then they don't get as much from the core of the lesson if that's what they're focused on. So if they need 15, 20 minutes to properly cut out all the words, that is okay. You need to allow them that time. However, if they also just want to cut them out as messy as possible and just slap them on the paper, that's okay too. This isn't about beauty, it's just about making sure that they're accessing the content. So it's important to pick your battles when it comes to cutting, which is why I did it before this lesson, so that I didn't have to worry about taking the time to do that, because I want every student to be able to do it their way. So make sure you always keep the directions handy. Mine are going to be off the screen just a tiny bit because I just don't have the vantage point to screen them all today. So this is the second sheet of paper. These are just places where they can paste their sentences, and we are going to get started. So it's important in each sentence, at least the sentences that we're working on, they're very simple: noun, verb, adjective, end of story. And that's just kind of what we're going to follow for today. However, of course, there's plenty of ways to word a sentence. That's just the structure that we're going to focus on. So one clue that's going to be really helpful, and I want the students to pick up on this, is a sentence needs to start with a capital letter. That will help narrow down which one of these choices is correct for the first word of the sentence, and that's what's really important to remember, because that's one thing that's commonly forgotten. We need to make sure we're capitalizing the first letter of our sentences. So I know that I need to start with a noun or pronoun, and it needs to be a capital letter to start. So I'm going to start with she. Now, students can choose to glue these down as they go or glue them down at the end of the sentence. I prefer end of the sentence. That way, if there's a mistake, you don't have to worry about peeling and ungluing. So have them form the sentence and then glue it down. So I'm starting with she. What did she do? So now I'm looking for a verb. What did she do? She, let's try, skipped. I think that really works. She skipped. Now, I don't think this sentence is quite complete. We know what she did, but I want to know how she did it. Now, our choices are to pick one of the descriptor words. We don't want another pronoun. We don't want another verb. We want a descriptor word. So I know that that's happily, fast, and daily, if I can pick that up. So I'm going to pick happily. I like that sentence. She skipped happily. Now, what are we missing? Now, parents, see if they can figure this out for themselves. I'm going to wait a second. We are missing punctuation. It is so important to remember that we have a period at the end of all of our sentences. This can also be an exclamation point or a question mark, but for our purposes, we're just working on periods. So now that I've got the sentence written, now I'm going to glue it down. Remember, dot, dot, not a lot, you guys. We don't want to be scraping the sides of the glue onto it. That's how we get really chunky gluing. Now, if your student needs these to be in a perfectly straight line, please just allow them to do that. That's their choice. And I can still read it even if it's crooked. So she skipped happily. Now, it's really great to use this first sentence as a model for the rest of the sentences. And that's okay. It's not cheating. It's looking at your previous work. It's a very informed way of learning. So I need to find another pronoun. And I'm going to look, and it looks like my choices are he or you. I'm going to pick you for the time being. Now, what did you do? Ooh, you ate. That's our verb. And I'm going to do fast, because daily is kind of obvious. Okay, you ate fast. We've got our subject, we've got what our subject is doing, and we've got how they're doing it. It's very important. And now we have our punctuation as well. So I'm going to glue those down. If you go through this worksheet and you do it first before doing the video, that is okay. There are so many different sentence options between all of these. I could have done you skipped fast or anything else, any other combination, as long as they're following the idea of the subject, what the subject did, and how they did it. That's a really great way to remember it. So now, this is the easy part, just the ones that I have left. So I have he. Now it's not daily exercise, because remember we want to know what he did first. He exercised. That is the action he performed. And daily. And we always want to end with our punctuation. So you always want to make sure you start a sentence with a capital and you end with your punctuation. So I'm going to glue those down. If you have not done so already, make sure you put your name and the date on this piece of paper, because I'm going to do my best to collect it the next time that I see you, okay? So thank you for joining us for our sentence strip lesson today. I hope you learned a little bit about sentence structure, and please let me know how your student did with either pictures or just a short little email. Thank you.